Hello, my little artists. Welcome back. I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope you guys liked last week's video and enjoyed making bumblebees. If it was too difficult for you, I'm sorry. I will try to simplify some things further on. I just thought that was like a nice project to do, especially with spring coming along. So I hope you guys liked it and were able to do it. If you did, again, I would love to see how you made it and how you did. I would love to see them. Again, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying clean, staying healthy, but also having some fun. I hope these videos are helping you through this time and that you like my videos. I hope they're fun for you. I certainly enjoy doing them, and you know, having me in your homes during this time, so that way I could help you guys have a little bit fun, put a smile on your face, and keep you guys busy. So, with further ado, I thought we would do some foil drawings today. So I'm just gonna move my camera so that way you guys can see. Excuse the mess. Alrighty. Oops. Okay. Beautiful. So, there we go. Okay, so I call this foil doodling. I think it's really fun, and it's something that I think every household can have or has at home is foil. So this project is just foil, markers, and then whatever else you want to add. So like you could add some beads or googly eyes. You could totally, and this is not the finished product. I'm just showing you an example of something that's like almost finished, because this is going to be an example I'm going to use later to show you how you could add textures and patterns. So, but you could also turn this into like a monster craft. You can add googly eyes, a smile, like pretend that's a nose, and it kind of looks like a dog. I feel like it kind of looks like a dog, or like a goofy monster. Like, see some different ways that you can turn it into something. Again, I still see dog, but you guys may see something else. So this is kind of an imagination project. You could really bring out your imagination, kiddos. Also, parents, if you want, I'm going to suggest having also another piece of paper just to keep off like the table surface. It's kind of smoother. This has kind of like a grain to it, so that's why I'm drawing on a smooth sheet of paper, so that way I don't get any texture in my foil. And then for parents, what you can do is, if you want, these are sold at the dollar store. You could also frame these if you like. You don't have to, but it's just a suggestion to make it a little bit more cute and to preserve it a little bit longer. All right, so let's get started. So I'm going to measure just by using some of my foil. I'm going to measure out how big I want it, and I kind of measured it from just a regular piece of paper. You could use construction paper or just a regular piece of copy paper. So here we go. And I recommend using scissors to cut the foil, just because we want to keep this as smooth as possible. All right. So if you want your kiddos to do this, maybe have them draw a line first. So if you want it the same size as this paper, take a pencil and draw a line. Or you could do it this way. I think this way's better. There we go. And then go ahead and cut very carefully on the foil. Remember, try not to crinkle it so much. Just be careful. Ready? Now, there we go. If you want to give it a nice little smooth out, see, I drew a pencil mark right there, so that's not going to come out. But it's okay. It's smooth. Just smooth it out. Give it a little. Rub your hands. Make sure it's nice and smooth for you. And then taking a black marker. Now, parents, if you don't trust your kids, I use some of the colors I had with Sharpie for this. But if you don't trust your kiddos with Sharpie, don't let them use them. I don't want anything getting all marked up. So go ahead and stick with some watercolors. I'm going to stick with some watercolors for this project. I might add a few colors from my Sharpie collection, but that's only if I necessarily want to. But I'm just going to stick with washables just because if you have kiddos at home that you don't trust with Sharpies, I want you guys to use washables and also use what you have. So what you're going to do is your kiddos, I want you to listen. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make swirly, 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 and we're going to go up, down, around like a roller coaster. So see how wacky and wild this is? I want you to get wacky and wild with this. So you could start at the middle, you could start at the edge, whichever. I'm going to start right in the middle. I'm just going to... It's kind of like you're dancing on the paper. You could go around, you could go up, you could go down. You can make it however complicated you want to. You could leave big spaces, you could leave small spaces, whichever you like. So then what you're going to do is you're going to pick a color. I'm going to start with blue. And you're going to just start coloring in like a coloring book. If you need this to dry for a second, let it dry. This actually dried pretty fast, but some of these might be wet because they're kind of water-based markers. So they might be wet and they might smear. So just be careful with that, kiddos. It might smear, so don't rub your fingers all over it like I'm doing. But this is dry. So go ahead, take your first color and pick an area, pick a spot anywhere, and start coloring it in. It's kind of like a coloring book now. So pick a spot, start coloring it in. Stay inside the lines. Or at least try your best to stay inside the lines, okay? There we go. Now I want you to use the same color in 4 more spots. So pick another spot and use that same color. Probably not right next to this color because we want room for another color there because we don't want blue and blue. So go ahead, move to like this side of the paper, pick a spot, and now your project is not going to look like mine. Yours is going to look totally different because you did your own thing. You went up, down, around, maybe a zigzag here and there. You could add some zigzags, you can add some loop-de-loops. It's your project. So go ahead, get a little wild, not too wild, but a little wild with it. Oh, this blue is running out. So next, choose a different spot. I'm gonna go up here now. That's gonna be blue, and if you don't want certain lines, certain places, you could go ahead and cover those. I covered like a little line over there. This marker is running out, so I'm gonna switch to another blue. So I'm gonna pick another spot and do blue here. So, oh, that's a lot better. That's a lot better blue. There we go. Beautiful. I might go back, fill these in. Okay, so I did 4 different spots of blue. Now, try to go to a warm color. Do you guys know what I mean by warm colors? So this is a cool color. Too cool for school. No, never mind. So these are your kind of cool colors. They kind of look like the ocean. So meaning you got blues, you got purples, you got some greens. Those are cool colors. Now these are your warm colors, like yellow, orange, red, and pink. These are warm colors. They're kind of like the sun and the desert. They're nice and warm. It's kind of like you're out on a hot summer day. These colors kind of remind you of summer. These kind of remind you of winter or like a rainy day. So those are your cool colors. So go ahead and choose a warm color. I'm gonna go straight to red. Now again, pick a spot, start coloring. And you don't have to color as fast as me. Just take your time. Try to stay inside the lines. I'm not staying all inside the lines, but I'm going very fast. So remember, fast is not always the best. Take your time. Also, if you noticed while you're doing this, foil is a little slipperier. Sorry, couldn't say that. It's more slippery than paper because it's so smooth, and it's meant to like keep food from sticking on certain cooking surfaces. So that's why it's got that slippery, because it is made out of aluminum. So that's why it's a little bit more slippery when you're coloring on it. So just be careful of that. Yep. Hope you guys are enjoying this nice weather we're having. Going outside maybe for a walk or playing in the backyard. Maybe coloring outside, that's a good idea. Maybe color outside if you can. Enjoy this nice weather we're having. Get some sunlight. There we go. So I use this color 4 times. Now I'm just going to another warm color. You don't have to. You could go back to a cool color. I just went straight to orange, kind of like a rainbow, because it goes red, orange. So I just went straight to orange. Now just careful of your sleeves. I think I'm getting some colors on my sleeves, yep. So maybe roll up some sleeves. Remember, this is art class. You might get a little dirty. Okay, now pick another spot. No, I'm gonna go here. Gonna pick another spot over here. Go, and one more time. I'm gonna go up here. There we go. All right. Now let's go back to a cool color. So I'm gonna go to purple. Again, cool colors. And no, you are not too cool for school. School is very important, but I'm just saying cool as in too cool. It's kind of like a phrase, too cool for school. I don't know where it came from, but stay in school. That's all I can say. Stay in school. I know we can't stay in school right now, but remember, stay in school. School is very important. All right, I'm gonna pick another spot up here. Now this project might take you a little longer. That's okay, you got time. You could also do this while you're watching TV. We're listening to some music. I'm listening to some music. I'm listening to some Disney over here. I'm gonna go back to a warm color. I'm gonna put it by the blue. Okay. So this is going to take a little longer, but I want to show you the next step because I have some other projects to show you. So I'm going to put this one off to the side. When you're finished coloring, I recommend leaving it onto the side to dry. So we're going to pick it up on the sides. We're going to put it on the side. So then I just want to show you on this one what you can do. So this is my project all colored. Every section is colored, even the little ones. Even these little itty bitty spots are colored. See, right there, that's colored too. So make sure you get all the little itty bitty spots. Now what I'm gonna show you is using a black marker. This is a Sharpie, but you could use a regular black marker possibly. Let me see, I'm gonna show you with both. I want you to go ahead and add some patterns. So go ahead, add some zigzags. So we're going up, down, 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 till you cover that whole spot. Now pick a different spot, and I want you to do a different pattern. So I'm gonna do the small blue spot right here. Can you guys see? This one I'm just gonna add little polka dots. Little polka dots. They can be big, they can be small, they can be the same size. There you go. Pick a different spot now. Maybe this one. This is another blue spot right here, but here I might change directions of my paper now. You could also change directions of your paper depending on how you want your pattern. So this pattern is going from right to left or left to right. I'm left-handed, so for me it's going from, like, I'm using my left hand to go right. For you guys, if you're right-handed, you're gonna go start maybe right, work your way left, or vice versa. You could start on the left, work your way right, whatever. Doesn't matter, as long as you get some zigzags on there, or practice some zigzags. If you want to practice on a piece of aluminum, go for it. You can practice on the sides too if you want. But for right now, I'm just changing the direction of my paper because I want it a different way. So I might go left to right. I'm gonna go this way, so I'm gonna go zoop, 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 zoop. So I'm just doing like loop-de-loops. So I'm going up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around, up and around. And I could do this really fast because I've practiced a lot. So if you need to practice first before adding it onto your piece of foil, go ahead and do that first. But see, now that I turn my paper back to the way I had it, those loop-de-loops are gonna look a little different. So I'm gonna, sorry with the glare. See, they look a little different because I had the paper this way. But now that I turn it this way, it's gonna look a little different. So now a different pattern that you could do is you could do some swirlies. So I'm gonna start and then go around, bigger and bigger. So I'm start in the middle, and I go around that little dot. So start in the middle, and we go around and around and around. Just like that. So this is just something else you could do. You don't have to. It's just another way of adding more to this. But kiddos, if you don't want to do that, if you're tired of this project, go ahead, take a break. but this is just something else you could do. Now what I recommend you doing is, if you don't have a fancy frame like this, you're gonna go ahead and get a piece of paper, or even like a cereal box. So you could get like the cardboard from a cereal box, and you could go ahead and glue it on to this, so that way this doesn't get crushed. So also, if you want to go ahead, smooth your paper out a little bit more, you could also put a piece of cardboard on top, smooth it down a little bit, get those wrinkles out. There we go. Ooh, that looks better. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some glue to this. Like I said, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. If you're already bored, or want to do a different project, go ahead and start a different project. I'm gonna start one shortly, so you could fast forward to that one, or you could do ... not a lot. Remember, ... not a lot, but I'm just doing some swirlies here and there just to show you guys. And then go ahead and put that right on there. Smooth it down with your hands just a little bit. I don't want you getting marker all over your hands, but oops. Ooh, and it's sliding. So if you have extra, you could cut that off, or you could fold it. It's up to you. Some of my drawing's gonna get cut off or folded to the back. There we go. Just folding the edges down, just like so. There you go, you have a foil doodle. This is really fun. Alright, my next project I'm going to show you is something that you could do with lunch bags or paper bags, just like this one. So these you could get at Walmart, you could get at the dollar store, wherever. Unless you already have some, great. If not, I apologize. And you could do a bunch with these. Your kiddos can make puppets out of these. That's what I mainly make with some of my kiddos. And you could do so many. You can make elephants, you can make tigers, you can make bears. Oh my. You could also make birds, frogs. So I'm gonna just show you two examples that I have already. So this is one that I made with my kiddos here. Oh, hope you can see that. It's a little frog. And I had pre-cut these little legs out for them. And then this long pink tongue with some circles. But first I had them painted all green, and then last but not least we added some googly eyes to them. And then they could put on like a little puppet show for you. It's a little noisy, but because it's all crinkly and painted, but these are super fun. The kids really enjoy them. So what I'm going to show you how to make is just a plain owl. Super easy, I feel like. This one's a little bit more complicated, but that's because like I cut out the pieces. If you want your kiddo to practice cutting or drawing, this is a good project because it's a little bit more simple and you don't have to deal with paint. So you just deal with the hoot hoot. You just deal with paper, glue, and maybe scissors if you let your child cut out paper. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to start this. So all you're going to need is some white paper, maybe some yellow paper if you want to make the eyes and the beak. So I have some yellow strips of paper here. And then black paper for the little eyeballs. So these are the little eyeballs. Now, if you don't want to make eyeballs and you have these at home, like little plastic googly eyes, you could also use those, but if you don't, you could always make some. So I'm gonna draw the wings first. We're gonna do the wings right here. So I suggest having your kiddo start with pencil. We're gonna start at the top and we're gonna go down, around, and back up. Kind of like a teardrop. Now, you're wondering, why does it look like a raindrop when it's, but this is like upside down. Why is she drawing it upside down? Because it's just a way of showing you, but if I turn it this way, then it looks more like the wing. So I'm gonna show it this way too, just so you could see it, but I might be confusing you. But I'm just gonna show you this way, so I'm gonna go up, round, and back to this point. Now try your best, it doesn't have to be perfect. And then when you got 2, 1, 2, then you could go ahead and cut it out. Now if you're not allowed to use scissors, please ask an adult to help. And like I said, you could do an elephant, you could do a dragon, you could do whatever your heart desires, you could do a person. These are super easy, I feel like, but if it's not your thing, then I apologize. But I find these really fun and easy to make. So here are my wings. And then I want you guys to get a black marker, because now we're going to draw this part. And so what I'm doing, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put this guy on the right so that way you could see how I'm doing it in comparison to what I did on here. So we're going to start at the top, and so we're pointing this part down, so the point is going to be facing us. And we're gonna go bump, 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 bump. So it kind of looks like little waves. So we're gonna do it again, right underneath this one. So we're gonna go bump. So it kind of looks like a smiley face. So the first bump looked kind of like a smiley. So it kind of looks like a smiley, that first little bump. So then I'm gonna go to the second little bump. So I'm just doing little smiley faces, kind of, without the eyes. So I'm just doing like the smile of a smiley face. So you're gonna keep going all the way across, and then once you get to the end, you're gonna go down a little bit, start a new row. And as you go down, the rows are gonna, the amount of smileys you're gonna do is gonna lessen. So you're gonna do fewer or less than what you did up here. So here we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smiley bumps. Down here we're only gonna do 3. So let me show you. 1, 2, 3. See? This one's gonna be 2. 1, 2. You could do 1 right down at the bottom. So there you go. Go ahead and do the next one now. Now if you kiddos want to do this a different way and paint it all brown, you can, if you guys have paint at home, you could always make brown paint. Brown paint is like red, blue, and yellow mixed together. So you could always make your own brown paint. You don't have to buy it. But that's if you want a brown owl, or say you want to do a dog, you could do a dog. You can make all kinds of different animals. There you go. So now we have our two wings. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our paper bag. It's not gonna be this way, it's gonna be this way. So our flap is up here, because this is technically supposed to be the mouth. I just added a beak, because that's what the mouth on an owl is. The beak is the mouth of an owl. So that's why I just added a beak. For other things, like our little frog here, the mouth is going to be underneath the flap, so that's why his little tongue is hanging out underneath there. But for our owl, I just added a beak because that is the mouth of the owl. All right. So what you're going to do is you're just going to add some glue on this side. Go ahead and add 3 dots. So 1, 2, 3. So I did my 3 little dots. Again, we're not making a puddle, we're just doing dots. And then you're just going to put the wing right there. Give it a little pat pat. And then we're going to go to the other side. So we started on the right, now we're going to the left. We're going to add 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. And then we're going to give it a little pat. Just like that. So now while it's drying, we could put this off to the side and we could start working on our eyes and our beak. So for our beak, guys, all you have to do is you don't need a lot, you just need a little strip of yellow. And I want you guys to draw a triangle. So go ahead. I'm gonna go that way. The other way. So 1 diagonal going up, 1 diagonal line going down, and then you're gonna connect the diagonal lines in the middle. Just like that. See? And then you're gonna cut. So cut that line, then on that line, and then on that line. So just like this. And there you go, you have a beak. Now mine's a little different. If you want to make it like mine, you just have to make a longer triangle. I'm going to show you. So you just have to make a longer triangle. I'm going to do a line like this, diagonal, diagonal. And this time I'm just going up. And then I'm making a curve. So I'm kind of making like a rainbow curve up there, and then you would cut that out. That's it. That's more similar to my beak, but just to simplify it for you guys, I just did a regular triangle, so you could do that. Just a different way. Now, using your same yellow, go ahead and make the eyes. So I want you to do a circle. And it might be hard on this because it's just such a small piece, but we do need small eyes, not big eyes. Well, I mean, owls do have big eyes, so if you want to go a little bit bigger, go ahead. You guys can definitely go a little bit bigger. I'm just going to show you with what I have. So there we go. I drew 2 circles. And now I'm gonna go ahead and cut them out. Remember, follow your line. Turn the paper as you're cutting if you are cutting. Adults, if you're helping out, thanks. Cutting is hard and it takes a lot of practice. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, say these are a little small, so I might not even cut the black. I might just add little black dots and call it a day. So go ahead, you have your 2 eyes and your beak. So go ahead and glue them on if you like. I'm just gonna add a little dot. And then I'm gonna glue my beak right in the middle. If you wanna start with eyes first, go ahead. So there's my beak right in the middle. A little bit on the bottom, like towards the bottom, kind of by the flap. So there's my beak. There's a dot. I'm gonna glue my eyes. It's a little bit more than dot, but go. So there are my owl eyes. And I'm just gonna go with a black marker. Oops. Might move on you. So when that's dry, go ahead and add your eyes if you want. If you want to give your owl some eyelashes, you can. Go for it. Owls do have eyelashes, if you did not know that. They do have very long eyelashes. Or it could be a girl owl, whichever. It's up to you. And then, kiddos, what I did was I just made like a little feathers right here, just using the same technique or the same stuff that I did over here. So you could go bump, 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 just like that. Go a little underneath, go bump, 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 bump. And you could do it all down the tummy if you want. This is technically like the tummy. That's kind of like the chest up there. And there you go. There's your owl. Super simple, super easy. But again, if you want to add different things to it, like googly eyes or something like that, you totally can. It's your project. And then when it's completely dry, you could put on a little puppet show. There we go. This one's a little tricky, but I don't know. There we go. Got my little owl friends. Okay. Now the last thing I'm gonna show is just a little project that you could probably do on the side if you have some extra time. And it's using chalk. Now I feel like most people have chalk, but if you don't, I apologize. Don't mean to assume. But this is just regular sidewalk chalk. There's some art chalk in here. This is like art chalk, but this is just regular sidewalk chalk. And I'm just gonna show you how to do bubbles, because bubbles are super easy. And I showed it in my Learn to Draw and Paint video because I did chalk with them last week. But I'm gonna show you guys because I feel like this is super fun. So if you want something to help you, you could use a lid or something circle. So go ahead around your house. If you find something circle that you're allowed to use, go ahead, use it to trace. So tracing means we're gonna go around the object. So here's a yogurt container. You could also use that. If you want to do pencil first, I recommend that. Pencil you can erase, and I like doing it on a black piece of paper. Black, it just makes the chalk pop out a lot more rather than just doing it on white, but you can do it on white. It does pop a good amount, but I like doing black because it really pops. And then I recommend at the very end, you go ahead and you spray it with some hairspray. So this is just regular hairspray. You could buy it at the dollar store, or you might have some already at home. Some people don't use hairspray, but that's okay. This is just to keep the chalk from smearing and going everywhere. I mean, it is chalk. It will go everywhere. It will get on your fingers, on your clothes, and it will just be dusty, dusty. You could literally blow it off the paper and it will blow across the table. So go ahead, trace your circle objects if you have them. There we go. So I have 2 circles, and all I'm gonna do is with my blue, just trace those lines. Do the best you can, and then take a different color. Take like a pink or a yellow, and I just want you to make one little streak right here. And then on the other side, I want you to make a little streak. And do the same to the little one. If you want to color them in too, that's great. You could also do that too, kiddos. It's up to you. Next, try to take a yellow, if you have one. Do one on this side, and on this side. So we're doing not on the pink, but on the other side where the pink isn't. And I'm doing one here and one right across. If you get some chalk on the other black pieces, you could just rub it out. And then here's some white. Take a white piece of chalk. And in this, not in the middle, but off to the side, you're just gonna do a little line, just, yep, that's it. And then do a little dot. Just like that. And that's how you make some bubbles. Super easy, super simple. And then what you're gonna do, give it a spray. And there you go. Let that dry. It will dry, even if, and your colors will come back if it got a little damp from the hairspray. Your colors will come back, and it won't come off as easily. Now, if you really want it to stay, get maybe a matte spray or a gloss spray paint, but that, and don't breathe this in. Let the adults do this, but don't breathe anything that's not good for you inside your mouth. Just don't do it. So, but this will help keep the chalk from spreading all over. And there you go. That's how you draw some bubbles. And you could do some other decorations here and there. You could do like a pop bubble. So say that's like a pop bubble, you just do little tick marks and it looks like a bubble popped. But that's just my way of doing it, just a simple way of doing it. It's like, oh, my bubble popped. Oh well, because bubbles do that. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Go ahead, you could also overlap. So if you want to do another one overlapping, go ahead. You could do bubbles that overlap. And just add some color to that blue. So all I'm doing is adding color to the blue. And then you're gonna go ahead and add like a little white. There you go, and you have another bubble. So I'm just showing you guys because I feel like this video for my little artist went really well, so that's why I'm recommending it for my little artists as well, because I think it's super fun, and it's a way if it's raining outside, you could do chalk inside. So say it's raining and icky outside, you could come inside, grab a piece of black or white paper and start doing chalk drawings on paper. You don't necessarily have to have a sidewalk or some concrete to draw with chalk. You could always do it on paper. Alright. Okay. Hello. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I hope you like it and I hope you are able to do these projects that I showed you today. I hope you enjoyed them and I hope you had some fun making them. Again, I would love to see these projects if you send it to our Academy email or post a picture on YouTube if you can, where these videos are. That'd be great. I would love to see your projects. I hope you guys enjoyed this and had some fun, kiddos. I hope I get to see you guys soon. Again, please stay clean, stay safe, stay healthy. All right. Thank you, little artists. Bye-bye.